Hello, friends.
Oh my god.
It's time for the show.
Is this happening?
With your favorite co-hosts.
It is.
Eric and Nicole.
Could be worse.
We got all you need from pop culture to what's on TV.
Or
we
not.
cover everyday life, Long Island Strong, North Shore, South Shore, all week long.
Please stop.
So let's get started, friends, because us two got a lot to say.
You do?
We're gonna make you laugh.
They're laughing.
Put a smile on your face today.
Hello, No, Nicole, I don't do this. It's time for the show. Why are we... No.
You're doing great.
With your good friends, Eric. I'm not doing this, Nicole. This is ridiculous. I don't sing. Just start the show. Let's go. Start the show.
Fine.
Hello, Nicole. Hello.
Hello, Eric. Hello. How are you?
I am so excited for this episode of Hello Friends. It's going to be such a fun one. I cannot wait to get into this. But first, let everyone know wherever you guys are watching this show, make sure that you follow, like, and subscribe. It is a great way to help support our shows. Twitch, Twitter, Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, TikTok, wherever we're making content for you. You guys interacting with it, commenting, thumbsing up, and hitting those bells are all great free ways to help support our shows. And of course, sharing it. Now, or when you get to the end, maybe you think someone will like it. Put it in a Facebook group. Tell a friend. Give it to grandma. Whatever. Sharing is caring, everyone. And of course, you can always check out our website, hellofriendspod.com, for all of our socials for myself, Nicole, the show, our live show schedule. Of course, the schedule of our guest. And what about if they are watching or listening, Nicole, onto the podcast version?
If you're listening to the audio version, which I guess you could also watch if you're like visualizing our lovely faces, please leave it a 5-star rating, a positive review, and be sure, again, to share it with grandma and everybody else that listens to podcasts or maybe doesn't. That's a good idea to imagine us. Right now, if you're not watching but you're listening, we're in very floral, bright, amazing, joyous colors. So there's a show of joy.
It is a show of joy. And speaking of that, kind of to just get into this a second before we bring our guest on, I know something that we have talked about on the podcast, and I know you were really excited about, Nicole, was we wanted to start featuring like other podcasters and other, people in the community that we love, that we've listened to. And this guest is somebody that, I've done stuff with in the past that I still keep up with. And I thought, I'm so excited. Let's see if we can get him on here. So, without further ado, Nicole, I'm going to let you do the intro.
Oh, man, I'm really excited to do this intro because, friends, this is somebody that I just met 5 seconds ago, but I honestly feel like I've known him for a lifetime. I really do. I don't know. It's a vibe. Again, if you're listening and not watching, it's the colorful background, good vibes, positive energy. Love to see it. He is a Twitch variety streamer. He is the host of Hot Mess Moments. He is the one, the only Dylan Zaner.
Dylan!
Hi, you're so nice. You're so sweet.
Oh, welcome. Welcome to the show, Dylan. It's so good to see you.
Thank you. And for people listening on audio, I have a 15-foot wig on, and I'm wearing a flowy floral dress as well.
Yes.
Also, for people that are only subscribed at the podcast, I, at the beginning of quarantine, started working out, and I look like Marky Mark.
I feel that.
Oh, see, Donnie.
Ew, God, no. Gross.
Yeah, Donnie. I think Donnie's nicer than Mark. That's an argument for another day.
Well, we're not talking about nice, Nicole.
Hey, if it's a guy, I will take it. Honestly, 2020, it's done a number on all of us.
It really did. It's been a year.
Well, now I am scared, bitch, that you say that, unless you're saying it like me, because one of the first things that I wanted to say to you was congratulations on your marriage.
No, that's not what I meant, but thank you. Thank you. It has been insane. I'm just like flabbergasted because when I grew up, I never thought of myself as someone that would get married because obviously like marriage wasn't legalized. I don't know if anyone can tell I'm very gay. So yes, it's my husband that I married my husband in 2019 and it's just been crazy. Like life's just been insane.
How old are you?
I just
If you
turned
don't mind
30
me
this year.
Wow.
Yeah, I
That's
know
exciting.
that's how I felt too when I turned 30. I was like, wow. No, I'm kidding.
You look
Just wait till you
great.
turn
Thank
40.
you.
Yeah, it's fun. And who cares that it wasn't legal? I got married in 2004. It was not legal, and I lied to the venue and told them it would be an MTV special so that I get a bunch of stuff for free.
That's amazing. Oh my God. That's crafty. I love that.
And I have
Loved
an
it.
announcement. I am currently I'm single. I'm not single, I'm dating, but I'm not married. I'm not single. That came out wrong.
Oh, what?
I'm not married. I meant no, that was so bad. He's gonna come in here like yeah. No, I meant like I'm not. I'm gonna
Are
stop.
you in an abusive relationship? Is that what you're trying to tell us?
No,
Like-
I meant I'm not married. It was a joke. Because if you're 30, that 2 years ago, that means you got married at 28. So I have like 2 years. Chop chop.
For those of you that are listening to the podcast only version, Nicole is winking at us oddly and holding up a help me sign.
Yeah.
Stop.
No, that's I think a ring could be in your future. That's all I'm saying. We're putting it out there into the universe. A ring is in your future.
Okay.
Thank you.
But I want to say only if you want it, you are a strong, independent woman and you don't need a man to be fulfilled.
There you go.
True.
But if you
Accurate.
happen
But
to
it
have a
is
baby, I'll
nice.
take it.
Just
I want.
spread the wealth.
If I could be honest, if we could just be honest, the amount of people that have been speaking to me about babies lately, I'm starting to get very concerned. Like relatives, friends, family members, I don't know.
It is the season. It's spring. Everyone gets a little horned up in the spring.
I feel that. I mean, I'm also carrying a child right now, so I'm just going to keep talking about babies. Yeah, I'm pregnant. I'm 8 months. That's why I got the wig, the floral dress, everything.
Right. Would you, if you could get pregnant as a guy, would you?
I don't know if I would want to, just because I love children. Don't get me wrong. Love babies, love kids. It's a cute concept. Don't know if I'm all about the hard manual labor of carrying a child. So definitely would get into that surrogate life.
Okay, so you wouldn't want to carry the baby, but you would want to have a kid.
Yeah, I think eventually definitely could see a kid down the line. Right now we have a dog. We just recently got a dog.
Right.
And fur babies are tough. I never owned a dog in my life, like owned my own dog. Like I've had dogs, but this dog is proving very difficult. So it's a rescue. We're like trying to train him. But he's a sweetheart. I love him to death.
What kind of dog?
Australian cattle dog mix. So it wants to eat everything.
Yes.
Oh, yes. Yes.
And the name?
Oh, Henry. I forgot to mention. Yeah.
Henry. That's adorable. Love it.
Oh,
See, it's-
I want. Yeah.
Oh no, sorry. I was going to tell like a really funny story. So my husband, he has this mindset. He is like one of those people that like, this is the vision for my future and we will fulfill that vision. So
Right.
he, for I don't know how many years, has always talked about we're going to get a dog named Henry. It's going to happen. I was like, okay, whatever. Like, whoa, a little further down the line. He would not budge. So we have always known that we were going to have a dog named Henry. And now that we actually have hit that point in our lives, it's interesting to say the least that like, I'm like, hey, can you also mention that like, we're going to get $1 million. Like, can you make this like a self-fulfilling prophecy kind of thing? Like, let's just keep the ball rolling on this, please.
But see, I am such a firm believer in that because like a couple of years ago, like I was very hell bent that I was going to get a dog and I was going to name it George. But if it was a girl, I was going to name it Georgia. Like I had a dream about the dog. I knew it was going to be black with white paws. Like I was like, it's going to happen. And then we went to the shelter to adopt. And lo and behold, a little black dog with white paws, and she was perfect. And I connected with her, and we adopted my now Georgia Peach. Like that's my baby. So I'm a very firm believer. Like you kind of like, dare I say the word, like you manifest it.
Totally.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
We kind of were the same thing. I always knew that I wanted to name our next dog Charlie, and I always we had Chihuahuas early in our relationship, and then they don't have the longest of lifespans, so they passed away after 10 years, but after they did, I was like, I don't want a dog like a Chihuahua. I want a dog that's like a real dog. And we got him and we called him Charlie, and he's adorable. I mean, he's still small, but he's like a real dog. Like, he'll lay on the ground, or I don't know, do things real dogs do that Chihuahuas don't.
Chihuahuas don't lay down?
Like, my Chihuahua would never go in the lawn and just lay down. Like, they would always be like, I want to go on a pillow with a blanket and look off and bring me treats. And Charlie's just like, fuck you, out of the way, move.
I love this. Yeah, I've never had this either. Like, I'm thinking of this in my head canon, your dog literally being treated like royal, your older Chihuahua dog, just sitting there oh, paint my nails.
That is exactly what they're like.
Just carry me outside the pillow.
Yeah, exactly.
And I unfortunately got, all of our dogs before adopting was the thing to do, before we knew better about adopting. I thought I was saving them. I just thought I was saving them from the pet store. When you remember when they used to have them in the malls?
Yes.
And you would want to be like, oh my God, this is so sad. I have to save you. But enough about our dogs, because gross. And I'm with you. I think I would want a kid, but only because I'd like a little servant. I think that's their point, to clean and cook for you, which is why I say I'll take one. If Nicole has one, I'll take it. I'm going to give it back when it gets difficult. So 3 hours a day, and I'm not paying any support, but they seem like fun.
I feel that. Yeah. Nicole, what are your thoughts on kids?
It's funny. Growing up, I was very not me. Nope, I'm an independent woman. I don't want marriage. I don't want kids. I want to just be me existing. And then I worked at a preschool with my sisters for a number of years. And as I started working there more and more and more, I was like, oh, this is nice. Oh, well, this is nice. And me and my childhood best friend always talk about it now that I'm in my later 20s. I'm really oh, that's really nice. I like the idea of settling down, the husband, the house, the kids. And I'm like, damn, Nicole, this is not something you wanted as a teenager. So it's very, very weird. I get it now. I get that whole maternal clock thing. I get it.
I just want someone to take care of me when I'm older. That's the terrifying thing as a gay man that I know my ship has sailed and I will not have kids. So I just imagine myself dying alone on the side of a road with no children to take care of me.
No.
Yeah.
Take care.
There's so much more gas in that tank, honey. I know. There's plenty of gas in that tank.
I already got one child. My hubs might as well be a child. I got to take care of him. I don't got time for that and a real baby.
And me.
And Nicole. And this life that we're doing. I think a lot of people think, ooh, podcast, ooh, stream on Twitch. Oh my God, your guys' job is so easy. What do you work for an hour a day when we see you on that show? I don't think people get how what we do is a full-time 24/7 job. Now, that being said, you are very much, and we'll talk about your podcast in a minute, but I remember, you kind of started, or where I really saw you take off was with gaming and being on Twitch and doing stuff like that. Aren't you also a mod for Trixie Mattel of Drag Race All-Star Makeup Maven Queen?
Wow.
Absolutely. I can actually talk a little bit about that. So Trixie and I go way back, and I'll get into the gaming, but specifically in Trixie and I's case, I was invited to speak about gaming and streaming at a gay gaming convention called Gaymer X. And Trixie was one of the drag queens who was there to perform. This is, I think, right after Trixie had been on her first season of Drag Race.
Right.
And so I was very scared to approach Trixie because I was like, oh my God, you're on Drag Race. This is so cool. Trixie is literally the easiest person to walk up to and go talk to. So I walked up to Trixie and I was like, hey, big fan. Can we take a photo? Love your outfit. I think she was dressed up as Princess Peach. And yeah, it was so cute.
That's adorable.
So we like followed each other on Twitter because she's like, oh my God, you play games. I play games. Let's hang out. And from there, we've just been friends for years now. I've like stayed at her place. We text, we play games off stream. Trixie is an amazing human being, but she works her ass off. Like, I've never seen someone that works as much as Trixie does. And I love that we were able to forge this bond over gaming because I think as like gay people, we relate a lot to like horror and gaming because they're like niche communities that it's so easy to find people like us in those communities. Right. And so it was really cool to like forge that bond with Trixie over that.
I love that. I have a mildly funny Trixie story to tell you. Trixie is my all-time favorite drag queen of all of Drag Race, obviously for all the reasons that we know about Trixie. And in this place that we used to work for, they were like, if you could interview anyone, like, who would you want to interview? I'm like, Trixie, oh my God, I want to talk to Trixie. They're like, okay, we'll do it. We'll get it. We'll set it up. So like before the interview, they were very much like drilled in my head. Trixie is she's going to like do the second half of the show. So you can like fill the first half hour with your Drag Race recap. Then Trixie will come on for a half hour, but we only booked her and like paid for a half hour. So you can't go over and don't bring her on until halfway through the show. So like, great, no problem. So we start the show, we're doing the show, and like 5 minutes in, I see in the chat, hello, it's me, Trixie. And like, we're still doing the recap. And then like 2 more minutes in, oh, so you don't want to bring me in? And then like keep talking. And she's like, hello, me, Trixie, star of Drag Race. Reason everyone's here. Did you want to guess me in yet? And I'm like panicking because I'm like, my boss said not to bring her in until 30 minutes in or they would have to pay more. And now she's in the chat. And I'm just like, oh my, I was like panicking. But then just like you said, the second we, brought her in, it was so easy. I was like, let's be best friends. It's like, no. But I love Trixie. I think that is so great to know. It's so rare, which I'm sure you know, and Nicole and I know when we do things like this. I always feel like the people we look up to, the people we are most excited to meet, I will say often, I almost want to say sometimes, but it's becoming a lot more often, really let me down. I'll speak for me that like, oh, you're not at all how I thought you were going to be. And the people that I'm like, I can't stand that person, this is going to be a horrible show, turn out always to be the most amazing people.
So, I agree. I agree with that.
I got
it's kind of the whole things. Oh, juicy.
No, yes, tell us. No, please.
I don't
Juicy,
know if I should
go.
I'm just saying, I am assuming you both can relate. In industries like this, there are people who will take advantage of you as best as they can. And I won't name names, but I've had many an opportunity where there's someone that I have looked up to and they abuse their power, we'll just say that, in a situation that makes it uncomfortable for both parties. And it feels so good to cut those people off and know that they are not paramount to your success in this industry. And I can't tell you how often that happens. So always be careful about your idols in this industry, but know that there are good people out there.
Yeah, absolutely.
If it wasn't for the good people, I feel like I'm going on my 10th year of doing this where and this is to my own detriment, I never treated it like a business, which is probably why we're not as successful as we should be. But I just always treated it as something to like have fun with. And I think that has helped. It's also allowed me to pick and choose who I want to do things with or not do things with. And I think that is so important. It is, like you said, it's an industry where there are good people and bad people, unfortunately. And that's why
And the
we
one
have
thing
you here, Nicole.
Exactly. The one thing I've come to learn is like it's an industry of people. Like when you're not in it, you kind of like put people on this like pedestal of untouchable, and they don't get in weird moods, and they don't have tech issues, and like they're just like, I don't know, in this bubble. And then when you interview or meet or chat with, it's like, oh, they're people. Like this person is fumbling with their light before the show starts. This person can't get Wi-Fi to connect. This person's in a bad mood because like their neighbor's hose flooded the front yard. Like it's very interesting, like to break down those walls and realize like everybody's just a person. Everybody has those days. Like that's been the most amazing finding in, I don't know, in the year I've been doing this. Like that's what I find most fascinating.
Totally. I completely relate.
This person clearly just snorted cocaine in the bathroom in front of Nicole and I, and we're supposed to act like that didn't just happen while we're interviewing you, and you're talking like this, and you're like, oh my God, I was so excited for the show, and Nicole and I are like this.
Yeah.
Oh, I feel that. Oh my God, do I feel that?
You've had that one too?
No, similarly, I've been to many a convention, whether it be YouTube or Twitch related. I haven't really had any issues with the Twitch related ones, but definitely the YouTube related ones. Some of these YouTubers, they be doing some things behind the scenes that I'm like, girl, I'm glad that I'm not in a space to talk about this, but okay, whatever. It's like, yeah, it's crazy. There's like a whole dark, dirty side to like the entertainment industry. Look at us. This is going to quickly become like a conspiracy theory. Like, gosh, I love it.
We should. I mean, not for me. I'm boring. I don't do conventions. I don't do any of those things because generally I don't like most people. Like when I connect with someone and I like them, like I find it so hard, and I think in a way you have to be a little bit fake to do, or not fake, like you're doing a show. You have to be happy. You have to network with people. You have to be on. But I have come to the place of like, I'm not pretending with people I don't like. So I feel I'd be horrible at a convention. I'd be like, oh yeah, you're cool.
It is exhausting. No, it is. Like,
it is.
You do, like Nicole said, you have to be on. And for a lot of people, being on 24/7 is insane. And to wrap it back around to Trixie, that she is one of those people that can be on 24/7. And I don't understand how you have the energy, time, or even effort for it, because I'm not a huge person in this space, but even I get exhausted at like 10 to 20 minutes of it. I'm like, oh my God, like I had to pretend that I love humans for how long now? Like,
because if you think of like a convention or a meet and greet or any type of event, you have to be on. You have to like, you're not going to get to like the 20th person you meet and be like, yeah, I'm a little tired, but nice to meet you. Like you're like, you know, if you're a nice person or a good person, you're going to be like, hi, nice to meet you too. So like afterwards, like, whoo. And it's not that it's fake. It's just like, it's, like I said, like on, like I get very, very emotionally exhausted. Where afterwards I'm just like, whoo, I should like sit down, drink some Gatorade.
I've got a really funny story about this. So I got my start in the Minecraft space, which is, if anyone knows, it's like a survival game with blocks. And I used to be part of this group that had a very huge following of like preteen to like teenager aged girls and boys. And so I was part of this group as like the token gay of sorts. There was like a few other LGBT members of this group, but I was like definitely like the most outspoken, like very gay member of this group. And I remember we were at a PAX, which is like this Penny Arcade Expo convention in Boston. And so we, at the time, had been managed by Disney, and they were not taking our group very seriously. They were like, okay, yeah, you're going to do a meet and greet. You're a Minecraft group, whatever. We were expecting maybe 70 to 100 people to show up. And if you go on my YouTube channel, you can see a vlog of this. We booked, or Disney had booked us a restaurant to be in the back of a restaurant to do this meet and greet. When we arrived, the line went 7 blocks.
Holy
and over 3,000 plus people showed up for this meet and greet. It was so big that the police came and had to shut down the entire meetup after we saw about 100 people. And a riot broke out of preteens. They started kicking in the windows of the restaurant because they were so mad that they couldn't.
You don't mess with screens.
You don't. They were so mad. But that moment like tarnished all meet and greets for me because I was just like, never again are we doing this like big shablam, like crazy something or other, because it got so out of hand. But I will say Disney learned their lesson after that, because any meet and greet afterward was so much more structured because they're like, never again are we estimating this.
Wow. See, now I was gonna say, and I think the thing that makes it different, like how do people stay on and how do people do all of those things? I was just gonna say it's money. Because I think if we got, paid, I feel like we all kind of live the artist life. Or I mean, I know Nicole and I do, of this is what we love to do. It's like a paycheck to paycheck, struggling to get by, kind of a business. Whereas I think if we were a Trixie and all of these things, I would be like, I'm going to have a massage now in between this interview, and I'm going to have Uber Eats deliver me lunch. And then I'm gonna I just think
you will become the Chihuahua. Like you will be carrying everywhere on a pillow, right?
Oh God. I think I'd become a monster. It's very frustrating when people are always like, I don't get it, Eric. You produce, you do these shows, you do all these things. Da-da-da. I'm like, yeah. And who's paying? You? All the shows are free. Like, it's all free.
It's love.
No, it is tough though. Like I get you on that, because I remember when I first started streaming on Twitch, the time where I went from going part-time to full-time. I don't do full-time anymore because now I have a full-time job. But back when I was originally doing this full-time, I remember for the first 3 months, I was eating out of like peanut butter jars. I had little to no money for rent. I was probably the most unhealthy I've ever been in my entire life because I just wasn't eating enough. But I was like, I'm going to starve for this to see if I can make it work. And I was able to make it work, but not a lot of people can make it work. And it is hard producing content with no money. Like, it's a struggle.
Without exaggeration, people that watch our shows know that my joke literally every day is like ramen or oatmeal. Like, that's what we're eating. Ramen or oatmeal. What are we having? Strawberries and cream today? Like you do. But here's the point. We are not telling you this as a sob story or for anyone watching or listening to feel bad. However, if you do feel bad, just remember, the easiest thing that you can do to support people like us and Dylan, even Trixie, is like a video that you're watching. Yeah. Make sure you are subscribed. Tell one person in your life, if you love this episode, share it with them, comment. I think sometimes people get overwhelmed and are like, well, we can't afford to support you or buy your merchandise or do that. Do the free thing. That word of mouth and building out, I think people don't realize how much that helps content creators and people who do what we all do.
Absolutely.
So you're horrible if you haven't done it yet. No?
I have a very unrelated tangent, but we talked about tweens revolting because of a meet and greet. And okay, I'm new to all this, so just bear with me, but I went to a casino for the first time, and I found out that people get very fired up about the machine they're at. And like people, if they go to the bathroom, like they'll have a relative like watch the machine. Like, okay, hold on, let me give you some backstory. So I love unicorns, right? I love unicorns, and I don't know what they're called. Machines that you put your ticket in, and then you like A slot machine, thank you.
Yeah.
So I wanted to play. They had one unicorn slot machine, and this lady was sitting at it, and I was like, "Okay, lady, like, if I do a couple turns, then it's my turn." Like, isn't that what we're taught in school? And she was sitting there, so we circled the whole casino, and she's still sitting there. So we circled the whole casino. She's still sitting there. We circle again. She had a relative stand next to the machine with their knee on the seat while she went to the bathroom. And I want to know, how is that fair? And it took everything in my body not to be like, excuse me, and just sit. And what is she going to do? Beat me up? Nobody's playing the machine.
Yes.
Like, and I just don't understand. And then to which I was informed that, yes, people will beat you up in a casino.
Yes.
How? Why? That can't be allowed. She's not playing the machine.
Here's the thing, first of all, just so that you understand, Dylan. I don't know, like, what your most favorite hobby or thing to do is, but mine is casino and slot machines. So first of all, it just enrages me when Nicole's like, I just went to a casino and I don't understand the way it works. So that's just number
They
one.
have so many buttons, Eric. It was like 1, 5, 10, cash out, pay out. I was just like,
So not only they don't even need to have a relative there. If you are playing at a slot machine, you can literally tip your chair forward. So like how they have those chairs, you can just tip it forward. That is a way that you let people know I'm going to the bathroom. You can call a slot attendant over to watch your slot machine. Well, 'cause the thought process is you're putting money into it. You're waiting to hit something. You don't want to walk away after you put $200 in. Someone strolls up, first spin, jackpot.
That's tough. Rookies, though, I learned in school, you move your feet, you lose your seat. That's how it works. And if you're not willing to put in the dedication and the hard work and pee your diaper or poop your pants to win, then tough noogies.
Yeah,
No.
I think, Nicole, you should have just laid her out. You should have just beat her up. Yeah, that'd teach her a lesson.
She's an older lady.
Obviously, you didn't need to explain. You said at a one machine for 3 hours. That screams old lady at a casino. You're everyone I hate in a casino. You are, oh my God, you're the worst casino person. You're like my nightmare at a casino. You're like, I don't get it. Why do you have to move? I want to play that. When the people stand behind me and are like, I want to play that game. Why isn't that person moving? I'd be like, do you want to say that to my face? No?
I didn't say anything. I said it behind your back. Dylan, do you go to casinos?
I have literally never once gambled at a casino in my life. Maybe in the future I will, but it's a lot. It's a lot of lights and sounds and chaos. And for me, a lot.
Yeah. We had to circle a few times before we even played anything because I was so overstimulated by the lights and noises. I was like, I need to feel this out a little bit.
Here's the thing. I'm gonna change your whole perspective on a casino right now. Number one, a casino, as we said in What We Do, to make the most money, casino is the only place that will give you whole vacations for free. Now, granted, we used to have like real jobs and things many years ago, so we could actually play money at a casino. But if you just do that for like a few trips for the rest of your life, because let me tell you, when I go to a casino, I don't think I spend more than $30 now. They're giving me weekends for free, meals for free. I still to this day I can get like a weekend in literally $1,000 suite in like Atlantic City or Mohegan Sun or Fox's, these amazing places just for free. They're like, oh, just come. It's like because the rooms are empty. And now with COVID, they're like, okay, come. I mean, I haven't gone, but still. So that's number one. You get free vacations. Okay. Number two, you get free alcohol. Now, I don't do drugs and I don't like alcohol necessarily, but if it's free, I will get 1 million virgin pina coladas, which they always then ask me for my ID. Be like, can I have a virgin pina colada? And they're like, can we see your ID? But I mean, make sure you're allowed in here. I'm like, oh my God, I don't like alcohol. But I will get all the free drinks. And my last point is, well, there's a lot of people and a lot of lights. It lets you disappear in a way I feel we can't otherwise. Like if we go to a Big Brother event, if we go to a reality TV thing, if we're going to these places, there's a chance someone knows Nicole, someone knows, oh, Eric, you're going to interview. When you're at a casino, I just put my headphones in and pretend like I'm talking so that the crazies leave me alone. And then I just disappear for like 24 hours. My life is not really my life and I just get to disconnect. So I think you should give it a try is my point.
Okay, maybe I will. Maybe once everything opens back up, I'll head to like Vegas with like a few friends. Though I've heard Vegas, not the most fun when you're gay. I've heard
Really?
like it's not like it's like homophobic or anything. It's just like a lot of the entertainment is focused towards straight like people, and it's not very like it is gay friendly. It's just not like there's not a lot of gay entertainment out there.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I feel like I watched that the World of Wonder when they had that residency, and it seemed like there was some gay bars around there that did stuff.
Okay.
But I don't ever do that. I don't like clubs and bar. I'm very much like, I want to eat my dinner in the house. I want to watch a movie. I like, just being with like a few friends at home. I am not a big like go out party, be around people. So I don't know. Maybe that's why I don't notice it. I've always loved Vegas all the times I went there.
Okay, that's good then. Yeah, Nicole. Sorry.
What are your hobbies? Like, obviously you game on Twitch, but like, okay, so not casinos, but what do you like to like do? What's your
Totally.
vice?
I have I'm part of a D&D campaign that my husband runs. So that's been a ton of fun where I can like
that is Dungeons and Dragons.
I know what that is.
Okay, just making sure.
So I like some D&D on the side. I love playing board games. I've recently gotten into books. For those that are on audio only, I have an entire wall of comic books behind me. So
nice.
It's like I love like cool, colorful, nerdy things. So I love reading like I just finished this book called Kill Creek, which was like a really good horror book. I'm now reading this like 800-page issue like comic book series. Like I try to fill my time with nerdy as many nerdy things as I possibly can.
Oh, I love that. Wait, so only like comic and horror, or here I go. Do you like the classics?
I do like some classics, though it's tough for me. I'm of the mindset it's very tough for me to get into something that I've never heard, it's hard for me to get into something that I have heard a lot about, because I really like to go into things like unspoiled. So it's hard for me to like get into like a lot of like literary classics or watch older films that I already know the endings to, because they're such a huge part of pop culture, and they're already like a big part of like cultural conversations about things that are already coming out nowadays. So it's hard for me.
I was going to say, when your first comment, I thought it was going to be flipped, because mine's more like, if I watch the movie and I really like it, then I go looking for the book. Or if I know I like a book, then I'll get like the hardcover edition of it, the leather bound edition of it.
Okay.
And I kind of like focus on like the same ones I like. So that's interesting. You're like the opposite. I like that.
Yeah, it's tough. It's tough for me.
And everyone knows my mantra is, I don't read, I'm read to. So I love an audiobook. I will not read a book. I'm dyslexic, so it's always been a struggle for me to like focus and read things, but I love an audiobook.
Oh yeah, audiobooks are great. I just recently got into them too. There's another podcast that I listened to, and they had been reading this book called Necroscope. And I tried so hard to get into it, but the audio, I was like, ooh, this is not my jam. But I loved the audio version of it. I was just like, ooh, okay, I could get into this like audiobook thing, because it's basically like a podcast, but much longer. So long form.
Now, when
Harry
you say
Potter?
that what'd you say, Nicole? Oh, Harry Potter.
You do love Harry Potter?
Of course, yes. Oh my God, I love Harry Potter. Oh, I could go.
Oh my gosh.
On and on and on.
Wait, hold on.
Go ahead, Nicole. Go ahead. I'll let you have your Harry Potter time.
Okay. So, which house are you in, and which one's your favorite movie?
Okay. So, I don't like admitting it, but I totally am. I'm totally a Gryffindor. But I take the quizzes over and over and over again. I'm like, I'm gonna get something different this time. I'm gonna get something different.
Which one do you want?
I feel like I could be a Ravenclaw, but
Okay.
the quizzes are like, no, ma'am, you're a Gryffindor, and all my friends think I'm a Slytherin. And I was like, okay,
Nice.
shady. I don't know what that means. I don't know what you're trying to infer here, but I feel ya. My favorite movie, if we're going by the movies,
Yes.
I think it might be based because it's my favorite book, and I really like Goblet of Fire, even though it's not everyone's favorite. I think it's because I love reality shows, and the tournament aspect of it reminds me of like a reality show where there's like all these wizards that are there's like 4 wizards fighting against each other in these different challenges, and I'm just like, love it. Yes. When do they vote each other out? Like, where's the hidden immunity idol? I need all that jazz in this Triwizard tournament. How about you?
I love it. Oh gosh, I want to be a Slytherin so bad, just because of like the aesthetic, and Draco's in there, and I love green, so I want to be it so bad. Finally took the quiz a few months ago and was shocked as all hell that I think I was a Hufflepuff.
Okay, I was like,
and
you
then
gave
a
off Hufflepuff
Gryffindor.
vibes. Yeah.
It's like Hufflepuff, then Gryffindor, then Ravenclaw, and like 3% Slytherin, so I was mad. And then favorite movie, again, because I love Draco, I love Tom Felton. Half-Blood Prince, because I call it like his movie. I feel like that was his time to shine. I feel like it showcases his acting. So Half-Blood Prince is my favorite. Love it.
Eric's over here like,
I get so passionate.
My favorite thing that I ever did was like when Nicole was going off on Harry Potter, I Googled ways to piss off Harry Potter fans, and there's like a list of all these things, and I would just read it down the line and be like, I hate Snake. And Nicole would be like, his name is Snape? And I'd be like, all right, well, whatever. I hate him. And I don't know what house you're in, but the houses are stupid. And she was like losing her mind until I told her, I don't know. I watched every Harry Potter movie. I don't know why. I did not retain it. It just glossed over me. I feel like because I didn't watch them back to back and I have a horrible memory, I couldn't remember things from one movie to the next. So like each time we would go into a new movie, I would like lose more and more interest. And I don't know. I never got into Harry Potter. I feel like I missed the boat completely.
Yeah, it's a lot to get into. And now it's like, not to like derail the conversation, it is a bit tainted now because of J.K. Rowling. And so it's like, it's kind of like weird to get into now. So it's like, if you had that nostalgic feeling for it, it's easier to talk about, but getting into it now, there's like obviously this like tinge to it because of J.K. Rowling.
Yeah, no,
that's very, very true. Because the person that I'm introducing to it, that's how I felt. Like I felt like I had this nostalgia from growing up with it, and like as I'm showing it, I'm like, yeah, this is kind of like canceled a little bit. Like it's an awkward moment of trying to explain the current. So we won't talk about that. We'll just talk about yay nostalgia.
Yay Harry Potter. Yeah. I want to know, because you said that you're big into horror. I cannot watch a horror movie. I don't like blood, guts, torture, porn, like any of those things. I mentally can't handle it. Like one time Saw was playing in a house I was in, and I had to I wasn't even watching it. I could just hear it. I had to like physically remove myself. That being said, I love the plot line of horror movies, so I will read the synopsis of every horror movie, think it's so amazing, love the twist, love everything, but I will not watch them. Does that make me a crazy person?
No, because I do the same thing. Before. So I love horror, huge horror fan. But I hate the feeling of the unexpected scare. I hate that feeling. So sometimes I will read the synopsis of a film before I watch it, and I actually enjoy it more, which is weird because back to my original comment, I hate being spoiled on things. I think horror movies are like the specific thing that I'm like okay with being spoiled on. There's certain ones that I refuse to like look into because I really want to watch them. Like I really want to watch Annihilation. I've heard it's great. I'm avoiding all spoilers about it. Same with Hereditary. I have never seen Hereditary. I'm trying to avoid spoilers as best I can because people are like, you have to go into it spoiler free. So it's like, it's tough. But I feel you on that, Eric.
What about like horror games? Now, I've never really played any horror games, but recently Reagan Fox from Big Brother 12, he's been playing this Dead by Daylight game. Okay, now you know it. He has convinced me. I downloaded it 2 days ago. I just played it for the first time last night on stream, and I am just like, I'm getting killed real quick. You played it, so you know about it.
Oh yeah. I'm all about horror games. I played Dead by Daylight. Trixie and I play Dead by Daylight a lot off stream. So she is like super into it. I think she's more into Dead by Daylight than I am.
Really?
That's her jam, is Dead by Daylight. But in terms of horror games, I have been doing this thing for the last, I think it's like 5 years now, called Fright Night Friday, where I'll play a new horror game, or we'll try to beat specific horror games every Friday. And I have played a large gamut of horror games, some really bad and some really good. I've just recently, in the 5 years that I've been doing Fright Night Friday, I've never really come across a game that's like too scary for me. And I just recently discovered one that I was playing through that I was just like, I don't know if I want to finish this because I'm actually getting too scared. It's a game called At Dead of Night, I think is what it's called. And it's an FMV game. So FMV games are unique in the sense that like they're real people that are in the game. Like it's an actual actor that they have filmed and they like clip their footage to be in the game.
Oh my God.
Something about that and the graphics make it scary. So basically the concept, tell me you wouldn't shit yourself. So you're in a hotel and you are ghost hunting within the hotel. So you're trying to figure out like what happened to the previous people that were in this hotel. But there is a psycho murderer who is in the hotel with you, hunting you down. And the hunter has advanced AI to know like when you make a sound, it'll know where you're at and it'll chase after you. And so you have to like hide because you can't fight against the killer. You have to like hide and lock rooms, like hide in like corners to avoid this killer while also ghost hunting, which is also already scary. So it was just like too much for me. I was like,
I mean, that does sound scary. I will say I have had a difference of opinion with the majority of the Big Brother fandom, and that has prepared me to know how to handle it when crazy people come after you. And
nothing scares us anymore.
I think I would be fine.
No, I have found that I don't mind horror because, like, you guys, I mean, Eric, you know that I don't like ghosts. I don't like jump scares. I don't like things popping up. I don't like loud, sudden noises. Like, that gets to me. I also don't like torture, like Hostel or Saw. Like, that's just gross. Like, I don't want to see it. But I've realized, because my boyfriend's a huge, like, horror fan, I've realized, like, I know the Halloween series very well, Friday the 13th series, Final Destination. Like, I realized, like, I do know a lot of them, so I guess I have watched them. And then when I think of, like, game-wise, do you know Haunting Ground? Like, this is my one reference point that I always bring up. Like, Haunting Ground was, like, me and my sister's jam when we were younger. That game is one of my favorite games ever. Scares the piss out of me whenever I think about it. But tremendous game. And then, like, not scary, but Hello Neighbor, I think is very unnerving, creepy, but I do like it. So, and then we just got another one. It's kind of like Big Brother. You move into a house, like 10 people, and you can be one of them, and you get killed off one at a time. We didn't start playing it yet. I forget the name of it, but like it's like 10 people move into a house, and I don't know if you pick your person or if they automatically give you a person, and then like you all get killed off one at a time. Something like that.
That sounds great.
But that one, and then also like happy ones or funny ones where it's like almost like hi.
We Happy Few.
We Happy Few. We bought that one as well.
Wait a minute.
Where they drug you. Is it good? Oh God.
Okay, so Dylan is leaving. He is clearly going to get something that has to do with this.
I played We Happy Few, and I have like one of the masks from it. It's such a good series.
Is it good?
It's really good. It's not so much scary as it's very unnerving.
Unnerving. Yeah. It's for those that don't know, me and my sisters watched the commercial for it, so we purchased it again. I'm like, I buy books and I don't read them. I buy games and I don't play them. So we bought it, and what it is like you're in this like weird town, and correct me if I'm wrong, Dylan, but they can drug you and you're on your happy pills just existing in this weird land, or you can choose to get off the pills so that you can investigate what the hell is going on in this town. But if you're off your pills, the happy people are going to know you're off your pills and they're going to attack you. So you got to like play it cool. But it's very like, it kind of reminds you of like The Purge, like with the mask and like unnerving and creepy. And we haven't played it yet, but there it is. I can't.
Yeah, no, you hit the nail on the head. It's very good. Also, side note, the DLC for We Happy Few has an amazing LGBT storyline in it. So highly recommend. Made me cry like a baby. So I love when there's like a good gay element to my horror games.
Why are we not playing any of these then, Nicole? We have a I
own all of them. The Last of Us. Something with this robot guy that programs to kill people. I went on a PS4 binge and bought like 30 games, and then I went left for Big Brother and I never played them. So they're all just waiting.
Here's my thing, and actually Dylan's here, so maybe this is good because he can also weigh in if I'm crazy or not. Do you have the problem where, how do I put this? Okay, so I was playing Dead by Daylight. I'm acting like I'm an expert on this game. I've played it one day. And there's that killer. So he's the new killer. I think he's supposed to be like a K-pop killer. Yeah, hot. You're with me. He's so hot. He runs at me and I'm like, oh my God, this guy is so hot. I'm not running away. I'm letting him kill me. And then my friends think I'm kidding and I'm not. Here's my problem in games. It's just the same problem I have at a gym. I find the people too attractive and then I get distracted. And it doesn't matter that they're a cartoon.
Yeah.
No.
I feel when I'm playing Dead by Daylight, I just recently tried the new update because I was streaming with one of my friends, and he has this ability in the game where he throws these knives at you really fast. And so I was like, I'm like a dog with a water hose. I'm sitting there trying to catch these knives with my mouth. I'm like, oh my God, throw them faster, please. I'm like, like I was mad. I was very horny for the new killer.
I know. Me too. I was just like, oh my God, I'm in love with this guy. And then they're like, you should be the killer. I can't see him. Although, let me tell you this. For my birthday, I had a family member gift me an Oculus Rift. Nicole loves this story.
I hate this story.
Me an Oculus Rift. Now, have you ever used the Oculus at all yet?
I've used VR before, and I think I know the path that the story is going. So I'm very curious where this goes, Eric.
Yeah, somebody let me know about VR porn.
There it goes.
My life is not the same. I don't understand why we're all not talking about this. I don't understand, it actually changed my world. I was just like, how is this a thing? And why is everyone not like, you can just go into a porn. Forget about in the porn aspect. That was the part that blew my mind. But anything, I've known of VR. I was unaware how far VR has come. And it just has been blowing my mind. So you know all about the VR. You're a VR expert.
Oh, well, you said it was blowing your mind, and I was like, yeah, VR is pretty crazy. VR porn. Anyway, VR is insane. I recently like within the last year for 2020, bought PlayStation VR. So they have like their own VR headset.
Oh, wow.
So I tried that out, and I was floored at how amazing it was because outside of motion sickness, which is pretty common with VR because they're still working on like getting frames right. It's tough. Like the technology isn't fully there yet. I'm hoping with like next gen consoles we'll get there to make it a bit easier for everyone to be able to experience it. But I played the Walking Dead game. There's this like Walking Dead horror game where you have to like stab zombies in the head. That was another time where I was like, ooh, I'm actually getting really freaked out here because like you can hear the zombies coming from behind you and you're in a 3D space. It's terrifying. I also tried there, have you heard of Until Dawn?
Mhm.
Yes, I bought that one as well.
So what? There's a prequel to Until Dawn that has a VR game of it. That one was creepy too because there's like monsters like running at you and you have to like dodge and duck and it's insane.
I heard a fan on your neck is supposed to be a weird thing, but when you're doing VR, and I originally, the first few times I did it, I can't do the roller coaster. Like anything that is the moving cannot, my brain, I can't even handle it like in a movie. Like if you're like in a movie theater and you're watching Superman flying, I have to look away from the screen. Like I just get nauseous and dizzy. But for some reason, most of the VR does not affect me. And then recently it did starting affecting me. And I was reading about it and they say have a fan behind you blowing like on your neck that somehow does something to your brain to balance things. I haven't tried it yet, but I'll let you guys know when I do.
Yeah, I might try this because I have motion sickness pretty bad when I do VR. So that might actually help.
I've never done VR. The only thing I can think of that still blows my mind, I'm so behind the times, is when you when you could take your smartphone and you go on YouTube and you can watch like a music video, and if you move your phone, it can look around the world. That so blows my mind, and I can't get past One Republic's one music video. I think it's back when we were kids, when you're just like, woo, like that I don't get. So I never tried VR, but that's the closest thing to it, and that freaks me out.
I mean, that is VR ultimately. If you were just wearing the glasses, your eyes then are the middle of, that's kind of how they film the same thing. Well, I wanted to ask one more gaming thing. I feel like we could talk about gaming for this whole show. Are you an Among Us fan?
I love Among Us. I'm all about Among Us. I love stabbing people in the back. I love running like with my head cut off, screaming like a crazy maniac. I'm all about Among Us.
I feel like we need to. We're working low key. I mean, I shouldn't bring this up again, then everyone's going to start asking nonstop. But we're like low key working on putting together almost like a Big Brother Among Us, with like some Big Brother, but also with people like me. And I'm feeling like we have to get Dylan to join us when we do this.
I'll kill people. I'm down.
It is fun. And don't believe Nicole. Suck. She's such a lie. She is a master of playing outside of the game. I suck. I'm the worst at this game. I don't know what I'm doing, guys. Game starts. Nicole like runs up to you. Dead. And then she goes.
What am I doing?
And she goes into a meeting like, what? How do I do a task? I don't know, guys. I'm America's favorite player. So a liar. I'm not here before it, but no, I love Among Us. I feel like Among Us, Fortnite, and Zelda I brought back. I've been playing Breath of the Wild on stream lately, and now I'm clearly moving over to Dead by Daylight because that's what my friends apparently want to play with me. So we're going to see how that goes.
I promise. Nicole, you should try Dead by Daylight at some point. It's really good.
I watched Reagan play it. It was like 2:00 in the morning. I was watching, and people were getting hung on hooks.
Yeah,
and I was just like, "Oh,
it's fine."
It can, like, if you're playing with multiple people, can you pause or no? You can pause your own. You can't because you're playing with multiple people. Okay.
Yeah,
see, when I get scared, I pause. When I get scared, I just pause, and then I wait, I calm down, and then I play.
I will just say on my last game last night, you have to like, for those that don't know it, you have to like fix 5 generators while avoiding being killed by the killer. And then when all 5 generators get killed, get fixed, you can then pull the lever and escape. So as we fixed the last generator, 2 people got put on hooks by the killer. And now I've never played a game like this before. So I'm like, oh, we got all the generators. I'm going to go escape us. So I like pull the thing down. I run out the door and I leave them like, yay, we won. And all of chat's like, you're such an asshole. I'm like, why? They're like, you didn't save the people. I'm like, we won. Like, no, it's like real life. Those people are still on the hooks, dead. You escaped. And I was like, all right, well, it's the first time I played. So many people so angry with me about that. I thought I was like winning it for the team. Nope.
People get aggressive with Dead by Daylight. The gays are taking over that game though, for sure.
Well, good.
Like, good. Yeah, they have a large gay following for Dead by Daylight, both on Twitch and in their player base.
All right.
Is that because of the hot killer?
That and people are just horny for horror. I feel like a lot of gay people are horny for horror.
Interesting. Well, you know what other thing that people are horny for, Dylan?
What?
Your podcast.
Oh my God. Thank you. Yes, if we're gonna transition to that, I want to say real quick, my co-host of Hot Mess Moments, Beth, she has been a fan of yours for a while, Eric. She used to be part of your Patreon and like listened in all the time. She was just like, oh my God, you're going to be like podcasting with reality recaps. That's so cool. I used to listen to them all the time. I think she still listens. It's just like, she was like a super fan, like back in the day. She's probably going to kill me.
First of all, how much I thought that conversation was going to go to was a huge fan of you on Big Brother, Nicole. So I'm never used to that happening. Hi, Beth. Beth, look, and, keep in mind what I said in the beginning of this show. So it is very rare that we can have like a 3-page document of topics when we're going to have a guest come on. And, we didn't even need to look at it. My point is, we love having you on, and I feel like we could talk forever. I have a feeling you're going to be on again, and Beth, come on too. I love hearing that.
Yeah, Beth and I. Beth and I go way back. Again, everything comes back to Trixie. We met through Trixie, so she was a fan of Trixie. She watched my stream and we became really good friends. We connected over the show or the movie Scary Movie 3. Long story. We're just big fans of like really shitty parody films, but actually it's iconic. But we have been friends for a really long time, and I am a super fan of Lost. Like, it's like one of my all-time favorite television shows. And she is obsessed with The Nanny. And we started talking, and I've been wanting to do a Lost rewatch podcast for a while. And she was like, Eric's gonna
implode.
That's what I was gonna say. I want people to do a Lost rewatch podcast with me, Dylan, and no one will do it. Also my favorite show. Keep talking.
Okay. Well, I'll have to invite you sometime. But the it's like one of my favorite shows of all time, and she has never seen it, nor has she ever been spoiled about it, which is very rare. And I've never seen The Nanny, and I've never been spoiled about it. So she was like, oh my God, let's do a podcast where we watch each other's favorite show, but it's spoiler free so people can watch with us and see us like theorize and make all these like fun comments without knowing what's going to happen. And so we started up Hot Mess Moments as kind of like our avenue for doing that. And it has been so much fun. We've only done 2 episodes so far, but when I tell you, watching someone watch Lost for the first time and be completely unspoiled and come up with all these theories and like what they think is going to happen, it makes me, it's like watching it for the first time for me, because I love seeing her reactions to things, and she loves seeing my reactions to The Nanny. And I'm like, yes, Queen Fran Drescher, you are an icon. Your fashion is on point. Like, it's a fun, friendly vibe that we've kind of created for each other, and we just want to share it with everyone else.
Oh, I love that. I have to say, and this is not going, maybe this is a spoiler. It's not going to really be a spoiler of anything. I'm just going to say, if I ever want to watch the ending of a show that I know will make me cry, I will go to like Lost, Six Feet Under, or like Scrubs. And like Scrubs, like the first or second time it ended, not like the fifth time it ended. But loved Lost. I like shows that make you think. And I mean, it almost sucks that if she loves Lost, or for the people that love Lost, they're not going to get to experience those elements that happened for us that were watching in real time, like where there was the website for the airline. And if you clicked on the right web page, it like warped and took you. Like there was so much real world interactive stuff that made me love that show. I did a Lost party for the finale, and like I themed everything. I made all like Dharma food. I had hidden smoke machines. I had just like all of these, because I don't want to really say anything that will give any plot points away. So it was just totally themed for Lost, and I was devastated when it was over. I honestly think it's one of the best shows of all time.
Same.
I watched season 1, and then I watched the finale. So I know like the beginning, I know the end, but I don't have anything in the middle. But Lost creators, I do know Once Upon a Time start to finish, one of my all-time favorite shows. That's a show that I would encourage anybody to watch. And you're saying Scrub has multiple endings, like say Once Upon a Time, like they kind of had like 2 endings and both were good. Like it wasn't like that weird thing where they came back and you're like, oh, this is awkward. Like, oh, I love Once Upon a Time, and I feel like that's where I went with that, because I can't talk about Lost, and that's where I
agree. No, I completely agree with Once Upon a Time. We actually just talked about our love for Once Upon a Time on the second episode, because Beth had picked up on the fact that Claire, who is a character within Lost, she plays Belle in Once Upon a Time. And I was like, oh, if you love Once Upon a Time, there are so many actors that started on Lost, or they didn't start, but like they were in Lost, and then they, once Lost was over, went into Once Upon a Time because they were both owned by ABC. And after like us talking about that, I was like, oh, maybe I should like finish Once Upon a Time, because I got like to the point where when Hercules was introduced. So I got pretty deep into the show, and then I just like stopped watching. So I was like, maybe I should like finish it. Yeah, maybe I should go back and refinish it.
And there's like an end, and they came back for like a weird season, but that also has an end. So they're both good. Oh, sorry.
Okay. I was just going to say, same thing, was in love with it. I think I got off the ride on the Wicked season, where it was the redheaded girl from Lost. That was the season. That was the last one I remember watching. Then I think it was Nicole who told me, oh, it's ending, so I went back and I kind of watched the last 3 episodes. But yeah, I missed everything in between there. But I did. I loved it Once Upon a Time too.
Yeah.
So good. So good. Not like, damn it, Pretty Little Liars, I'll never get past it. Never get past it. It was a good show, but don't get me started on the ending. I get so mad.
I just read today that one of the shows that I think influenced and shaped my gay coming of age of gayness, Queer as Folk, that was on Showtime. I literally just read today that they are rebooting it, which is also a way when you know you're getting old, when they start rebooting the shows that you were like, this was my early 20s, and they're rebooting it. Awesome.
And what's the name of it?
Queer as Folk. It was on Showtime.
It's pretty good. It still holds up to this day. I remember I never watched Queer as Folk when it first came out, and then my old roommate at the time had the DVD, so we watched I think 2 or 3 episodes, and I was like, oh, I wish I would have watched this when I was younger, because I would have been all about this show, because it's pretty good.
You have to remember, there wasn't really it was basically the first gay, like there is a gay kind of drama. It has to be on Showtime because God forbid regular cable could handle this. So it was like the first time that we were seeing like this is a gay TV show. So it was pretty amazing in, that aspect. But
yeah.
I know we wanted you to weigh in on a hot topic before we wrap this up.
Ooh, okay.
It is a very, very hot topic, which I feel like we're making a lot of things tie into Trixie on this show. I feel this could as well.
Okay.
It was just revealed that Dolly Parton's new flavor of ice cream came out. And it crashed the entire website, but it is flavored strawberry pretzel pie. Now, wait, now why are you gasping? Because it sounds disgusting to me.
That sounds delicious.
Strawberries
really
and
good.
pretzels?
Yes, salty and
Pie.
sweet.
Oof.
Okay.
Oof.
And
I love
Parton-
Dolly,
Ooh.
so I'm on board.
Yep.
Dolly Parton
Oh.
literally could have made like an egg yolk ice cream, and I would have been
Correct.
like,
Yep.
on board, girl, sign me up.
Same.
100%.
Same.
How
can you
I'm
not like
surprised
Dolly?
it crashed.
Yeah.
How do you like what?
I said, how can anyone not like Dolly?
Who would say that?
I know, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Don't come at me. I like Dolly.
Yeah.
She's like, don't start with me.
Yes. Love her, love Dolly. I always wanted to go to Dollywood. Have you ever been there?
No, I want to though. I would love it.
Yeah.
Road trip.
We should. That's the new podcast. Eric, Nicole, Dylan, Beth. We're all going to Dollywood. It's a limited series. Visiting Dollywood. Now, does your podcast have like a set schedule of when it comes out for shows? So when is that?
So we upload every episode, a video version onto YouTube, and then we do Spotify and Apple Podcasts Thursday mornings. So I try to upload it around like 7 a.m. CST, so that way people can listen to it in the car or listen to it at work. We do plan to upload maybe additional episodes throughout the week if we have time. Similarly to what Eric's you said earlier, there's like some aspects of Lost that you just don't get to experience. So maybe we would do side episodes where we can talk about like the ARG elements that came with Lost, or if something happened that was like a big pop culture moment in The Nanny, like if Fran Drescher did something outside of the show that was like impactful to the show, we will like do something similar in that vein. There is some juicy special features on the DVD set that I own. So we're going to definitely do some special episodes in the future. But for the most part, it's every Thursday at around 7 a.m. CST. You can expect a brand new episode of Hot Mess Moments. Make sure to follow us on Twitter.
I love that. And we're going to put the links to all of your socials, your YouTubes, your Twitches. All of this stuff will be in the show notes for this show. But where do you want people to follow you on Twitter for those that are listening to the audio version of this show?
Definitely. If you want to follow me personally, I'm always down for a spicy Lost conversation. You can follow me at 8-Bit Dylan. That is the number 8, BITDYLAN, 8-Bit Dylan. Or you can follow my podcast, Hot Mess Moments, over at Hot Mess Moments on Twitter. And shout out to my co-host, Augusta Wind 11, or Beth. It's at Augusta Wind 11.
I was going to say, we have to give Beth's info here too. First of all, we try and keep this show to an hour. I can't even believe how much we've gone over. We didn't even get to talk about half the thing. And that's why I'm like, we need Dylan to come back. I'm sure that we're going to have you back. We didn't even get to talk about half the things. And I think that is a sign of how much we love you. And I think the audience is going to love you. And I hope that you'll come back and that we can do more shows, because this was so much fun.
A lot.
Anytime.
Of fun, yes.
And Nicole, Eric, you are always invited at Hot Mess Moments. We'll have to set something up and watch some Lost and Nanny together, and we can talk about it.
Yes.
I would.
My family calls me a hot mess.
That's for other reasons. We've been over this, Nicole. Well, we will, oh my goodness, we will see all of you guys on the next show, which will be Monday, immediately following Big Brother Canada. We will be live with a special surprise guest, so you're going to all want to make sure that you guys tune in for that.
That sounds exciting.
And
I was going to say, Nicole, final thoughts.
It does sound exciting. I had a final thought. Now I can't remember what it was. Oh my gosh.
All right, hold on. Dylan, final thoughts.
Final thoughts. Drink water. Don't be a dumb bitch unless you want to be. Then go full in on the dumb bitch energy, because we're all about that jazz here. I don't know. That's all I got.
Okay, perfect. Nicole, have you figured out your final thought?
In a world where there are, no, I was going to try to be like really philosophical, but I think we learned during this show that Eric is officially the Chihuahua that gets lifted around on a pillow, and I can't get that image out of my head now. But I said at the beginning of the show that, Dylan, I feel like I know you. And now I definitely feel like I do. Just like good vibes, right? I feel it. So here is to good vibes to everybody on their weekend. If you're watching, you see all of our colorfulness, all of our joy. If you're listening to it, I'm sure you hear it in our voices as well. So here is to love and light and joy and friendship and all that good, amazing stuff.
Yeah.
And don't forget about that following, liking, subscribing on all of our platforms. Myself, Dylan, Nicole, their Hot Mess Moments podcast. Go and support if you've enjoyed this show. And we will see you guys all on the next one. Bye for now, everybody.
Shout out to Beth.
Shout out to Beth. Bye, friends.